go to class. The break was, all you had was practice. 248-539-9797. John in Madison Heights. Hi, John.
Hey, guys. Just wanted to talk about the Pistons real quick. Now, I don't really – I know Van Gundy hasn't had great drafts, but still I think this is more of a league problem than a Van Gundy problem. I just think that as far as the superstars having the say in where they go and how they stack the deck on each team, I think the credibility of the league's at an all-time low because Van Gundy can do whatever he wants, but if the superstars don't group together and say, Detroit should be one of the chosen ones, then he really, unless he lucks out with the draft, I mean, he can go get his Al Horford, like his B+ player, and they can get in the playoffs and maybe just miss. But let's face it. Does anyone think that Golden State and Cleveland are not going to be penciled into the finals because of the decks being stacked?
Well, there is – I mean, you've obviously now gone big picture on this question, and that is – I mean, whether there's a problem with the league, TV ratings are great. Like, you're calling the credibility of the league at an all-time low. It is for you, John. Kind of is for me, and I know it is for others, but the TV ratings are great. People love the NBA. It's far more popular in towns other than Detroit.
Yeah, that just astonishes me because literally if you're one of the 90-some percentage of the fan base in the league, what do you really have to root for when King Kong is on two teams in the league and that's it?
Meaning the two giant rosters.
Yeah.
John, I know where you're coming from. It is a bit frustrating, and yet it's incredibly popular. The NBA is incredibly popular. And, look, I try and evolve with the times because, I mean, how many people when you were young heard how much better baseball was 20 years ago, how much better the NFL was, how much better all the sports are. The hockey was better when it was just 6 teams. We've all heard that when we were growing up. I didn't want to turn into that guy, but it also doesn't mean I want to start trying to like something that I don't find is all that good.
Well, it seems like the league's always better when your team is playing well.
You're right, and here's the other thing. My bigger problem with the NBA is I think there's an element of it's not cool to try hard. I
think you're dead on with that.
That drives me nuts. When somebody goes up to dunk and people sprint so they don't get posterized, who was the Piston that everybody made fun of because he tried to stop DeAndre Jordan? Was it Brandon Jennings? Tried to draw a charge?
Jennings was at Knight.
It was Brandon Knight who tried to draw the charge with DeAndre Jordan. And everybody, there were memes and everybody's making fun of him. I'm like, here's a guy trying to play defense instead of sprinting so he doesn't get posterized. I don't know. I thought was emphasizing the wrong thing. But all right, Gator. So probably 2 weeks ago, laying in bed at night and heard something.
What do you mean you heard something?
Up in the attic, I heard something. Something kind of scratching. And it went on for about a minute. And then it stopped. And I went, huh.
It's probably just the branches going against the house.
That's what I tried to tell myself, but it didn't sound like that.
Oh.
And then Saturday night, this past Saturday night, I was laying in bed with my wife, and the scratching started again. Up in the attic. And it was loud, and it was persistent. And I'm thinking squirrel, raccoon, possum, something's up there. So I go over to the area where it sounds like it's coming from, and I start banging on the wall.
Sure, that's what everybody would do.
And it stopped.
Of course it stopped.
And about 5 minutes later, it started again.
Yep.
And I went over, and I banged on the wall longer and louder, trying to bang loud enough to scare the animal and not wake any of the kids. And I went back to bed. And it started again. And I went back and banged for a third time. Louder, longer, back to bed.
Congratulations.
You woke the kids up the first time, you said?
Yeah. We try not to wake the kids up.
Just banging the wall with my fist, louder and longer.
Okay.
And eventually, it came back. So then I went and got the chair. We have one chair upstairs. My daughter's room is the only one with a desk because she does all her homework exactly the way she's supposed to. Meanwhile, the boys don't have desks in their room because they would never use them. And I grab the chair from her room. I bring it into my closet where the hatch is to get through into the attic. Sure. I pop the lid off, and I start flashing the light from my phone up there.
Mm-hmm.
Here I come.
Yeah?
You better get out of the house.
Right, because that's what they're going to want to do, is when they hear you coming, they're going to want to leave the house as opposed to simply hide in whatever's up there in the attic. I
presume that's what he was going to do.
Right.
And then the scratching started again 5 minutes later.
Awesome.
So at this point, it's like 12:30, 12:45 at night. My wife says to me, so we have two choices here. One is go up there, or two, which means go get the ladder and go get a weapon. Or go sleep somewhere else. I chose the or. I went downstairs, slept on the couch. She went in one of the kids' rooms. So on my to-do list Sunday was to go up there.
All right.
So I went and got a ladder, went up the ladder, popped the hatch. Now, here's the deal. In the attic, it's blown insulation. So I cannot see the joists that go across to step on. But I've got all the framing of the roof. So I was like a gymnast. Like I had to get up there and I had to, kind of, first I had to swing my feet up onto a cross joist, and I'm moving around like a Cirque du Soleil member up there. Well, it's dark and hot. I have a shovel just in case I need to swing something.
Shovel.
I know.
Jeez.
And I had the light. I had my phone light, which is the best flashlight we have. It's actually pretty good. And I looked all around, everywhere I could see. I crawled into really small corners. I couldn't find any evidence of any animal, like no footprints, no pellets.
Right. Pellets is a big giveaway.
No areas that had scraped away, because the scratching sounded like, trying to get out. I was trying to do that on the microphone. It's not really working, but it was trying to scratching.
There's no signs that the insulation had been
moved,
messed with or anything
that I could find in the area the sound was coming from. I was up there for 10, maybe 15 minutes. So I'm thinking to myself two things. One is I could set some sort of trap or find some sort of repellent. There has to be a smell or something that raccoons or squirrels don't want to, they smell it and they'll run, right?
Well, with raccoons, I have heard that cayenne pepper.
Is that what it is?
Keeps them away. That's what I've heard.
Got plenty of cayenne pepper. All right, that's a good start. And then the concern, of course, is whether or not there's an opening, right?
Well, how are they getting in there?
Yep. But here's what I don't want to do. I don't want to call anyone where it's going to cost $200 just for them to come out, right, to the house and before they find anything, if they find anything. And, I haven't heard anything Sunday night or Monday night. So I've gone 2 straight nights without any more scratching or any evidence that there's anything up there.
Oh, I'm sure they left.
Yeah. What do you do here?
Well, Doug, I guess, first of all, you have to determine how loud that scratching is. Do you think you can figure out how big the creature is or the critter is that's up there?
It sounds big. It doesn't sound to me like a squirrel.
Well, I was going to say, does it sound like mice?
No, it sounds bigger. The scratching is loud. It makes it feel like it's a heavier animal. It's not like a moose, but I think it's more a raccoon or possum.
Yeah, call somebody. Don't be stupid.
Why is it stupid? I just want to find out if I can take care of it myself.
It sounds like your attic is a little intricate because there's nowhere to really stand there. You don't know what you're doing. And last I checked,
I got a hell of a workout.
You're not Mitch Gaylord, so maybe you shouldn't do things like that.
You went Mitch Gaylord?
I was going to go Bart Connor, but I thought
old gymnast reference.
Right. I would definitely leave that to a professional to deal with because they know where to look. You may look at it, I don't see anything. But the reality is, whatever creature is in there, is probably embedded in your insulation. And they'll have the traps that they can set up. I mean, what are you going to do? Go out and rent a rodent trap of some kind for
I don't think I want a trap. I just want a spray. I told my wife we need to get some spray or something that the animals are going to smell and they're not going to want. There's got to be a spray, right?
No.
Yeah, you can buy like wolf urine or something. Honestly, I'm serious.
Okay. I do a lot of laughs back there. Wolf urine? Let me Google search wolf urine. Did you make that up? Or do you think it?
No, it works 100% of the time.
Shop for
I'm
wolf
kidding.
urine
See?
on Google. Awesome. Hey, how do they collect this?
Don't ask, don't tell approach.
They take them to the bar, and then right when they're about to go, they say, hey, pee in this bottle.
248-539-9797. Should I call a professional or can I take care of it myself? 97 won the ticket.
Hey, it's time again to talk about the best lease